Hello, thank you for joining us on this episode of Sports Bets for Free. My name is Scott Jenkins, your host, just a local sports bettor here in Phoenix, Arizona. And hopefully today with our bets and your bets, it's going to be another profitable day for you. Saturday, February 8th, NBA and college basketball. We've got a monster slate of basketball for Saturday. Obviously, they're going to be a little lighter on Sunday due to the Super Bowl as everybody kind of bows down to the NFL. But let's get into it. Like I said, as we've got a bunch. We're going to start with the college side. Tennessee, Oklahoma, game one for us. Tennessee on the road going to Norman, 5-point favorite. Total here, 137.5 is where it was earlier. This thing's already moved. As we're 4 hours before game time is recording this. On this one, it's up to 138.5. We still like the over here. I think Tennessee, Oklahoma doesn't present that big defense that's going to cause them a lot of problems. So Tennessee should be able to get some points on the board. Oklahoma does score well at home as well. So give us Tennessee, Oklahoma over 65.5 first half, 137.5 for the game. Next game up, Oregon, Michigan State. Oregon comes off a loss against Michigan. Michigan State was just out in Oregon and USC and UCLA and did not have a very good trip. Now they're coming back home. Oregon didn't win against Michigan, but they did keep the game a little bit tighter than expected. 8.5-point line here. If I'm not mistaken, Michigan was almost at this line, and Michigan State, I think, is a much better team. So we're going to take Michigan State at home, minus 4.5 first half and minus 8 for the game. Next game up for us. We really wanted to get into that Kentucky-South Carolina game, but we're going to stay away from that as Kentucky's been a little crazy as of lately. TCU, Iowa State in Ames. Iowa State struggled a little bit on the road here. They're 16.5-point favorite today as TCU sometimes has problems putting the ball in the bucket. Iowa State, that vaunted defense has kind of went away a little bit, but we still like the over here as we expect Iowa State to maybe put up 80 points of this by themselves. So Iowa State, TCU over 64 first half and over 136.5 for the game. Next game up for us is going to be at 1 o'clock Eastern time. Texas at Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's been good at home in the SEC, struggled on the road. Texas has definitely struggled on the road. Vandy, 2.5 3-point favorite here. We're going to cut the line out. We're just going to play money line here. Give us Vandy money line first half. Vandy money line for the game. And that one there. Next game up for us is going to be Wisconsin and Iowa in Iowa City. Tough place to play. Wisconsin's played pretty damn well overall. They're a 5.5-point favorite headed to Iowa City here. 162.5 total. It's hard for me to get away from Wisconsin. They're just a better team. Iowa, if they shoot well, they're going to win this game. But we're just banking that they're not going to shoot 60% from three. So Wisconsin minus 3 in the first half and minus 5.5 for the game. As we scroll through the games here, so another game we get to 2 o'clock Eastern time. We're on a couple games here. Kansas State at home against Kansas, so the Battle of the Sunflower State. Kansas laying 4 on the road. They have been a disappointment on the road most of the season. K-State normally, I'm not going to say they're going to win, but they do handle business at home. They'll keep this game tight. K-State did beat Iowa State, by the way, in Ames as well. So kind of on a little bit of a run here. Give us K-State plus 2.5 first half and plus 4 for the game. Next game up, UCF, Baylor. If you guys have been following the show, you know that we are probably looking at a UCF total, as this is a team that continually puts up points, and gives up points. You can tell it in the total here as it's basically at 157 at some books already. We got it at 156.5 earlier. Grab this one early if you're interested, or play an alt line. UCF Baylor over 74.5 first half and 156.5 for the game. Next game up, also a 2 o'clock 2 o'clock Eastern time game. Marquette and Creighton. Creighton at home. Marquette been a little, they haven't been as dominant as they probably should have been. This is the year to kind of catch everybody with UConn not being as strong as they've been as well. Creighton at home's it's been good. They've had some big wins there in Omaha. We expect Creighton to do the same here against Marquette, so we just did play this one money line as well. Creighton money line first half and Creighton money line for the game. Next game up, as we get into the fun stuff. We got a little SEC action headed your way. There are a ton of games, by the way, at that 2 o'clock Central Time, 2 o'clock Eastern Time. If you're looking for action, that you could have 25 games, I think, going off at that time point. Texas A&M travels to Columbia, Missouri. Two ranked teams here. Missouri's been a lot better than anticipated. We did not expect Missouri to kind of put up this kind of fight. Texas A&M's kind of what they've been. Definitely can rebound, can play some defense, occasionally can't shoot, type of thing. But we do like Mizzou in this spot at home, so we're going to lay the 4. So Missouri -2 first half and -4 for the game. Florida Auburn should be a barn burner as well coming up. So nothing for us in that game, but definitely something we're going to be paying attention to. Houston, Colorado, Houston should blow them out of the water as well. But nothing for us in that one, as that line at 15 is a little bit too big for us to play. Let's see here. As we scroll through the thousands upon thousands game. By the way, Dickie V coming back today. Welcome back, Dickie V. We miss you, bro. Awesome to always hear him on TV or on the radio. Looking forward to that a little bit later on. All right, now we get to the 6 o'clock Eastern game. Mississippi State going on the road, and they have been, man, butt ugly. Might be the best way to provide it. Once they got ranked, all of a sudden they couldn't score. Georgia at home has been fantastic. They've had some big wins at home this season. We like Georgia in this spot. They're favored by 1.5. We're going to play just concentrated to the money line. Georgia money line first half and Georgia money line for the game. Also, 4 o'clock out here in Phoenix, 6 o'clock Eastern time. Drake's back in Des Moines at home against Indiana State. Obviously, Indiana State last year was the talk of the town. This year, Drake is dominant in the Missouri Valley Conference. Only 2 losses for the season. They're a 13-point favorite, and we're not afraid to lay this line, especially with them being at home. So give us Drake -6.5 first half and -13 for the game. And the next game, Northern Iowa, Illinois State. This game in Cedar Falls, Iowa. Northern Iowa's played well at home. On the road's been a different story for them, but only having to lay 6 here with Illinois State. We like UNI in this particular one. In fact, we got it at 5.5 earlier, so line's starting to move. UNI -3 first half and -5.5 for the game. Next game up that we are on, 6:30 Eastern time, Clemson at home against Duke. So let's be honest here. The ACC looks like it's projected to have 4 teams in the tournament. Obviously, Duke is the cream of the crop when it comes to that. Cooper Flagg's been fantastic. The rest of the freshman class has been really good as well. Clemson at home 7. Duke didn't cover against Wake Forest last Saturday. Kind of how we're looking at this. They've been good, and they've been close to the number. I don't know if Clemson's got enough firepower to knock off Duke here, but we think they keep this game within 5. So we think there's a little bit of value there with Clemson. So give us Clemson +4 first half and +7 for the game. 2 more college games left for us. Both nighttime, or getting definitely nighttime games. Grand Canyon going to California Baptist, GCU, a local school out here in Phoenix, laying 4.5. I honestly believe GCU's got a great chance to make this tournament. They're going to have to win their tournament conference, but we think they got a great chance to get there. But we like GCU in this spot on the road, -2.5 first half, -4.5 for the game. And then the last game on the docket at 10:30 Eastern time, Texas Tech travels to Arizona. So obviously this is a late game. Arizona's only favored by 2, and they're at home. Tech's played well. Don't expect Tech to lay down in this one, but we do like Arizona. We'll lay the 1 in the first half and 2 for the game. Now we'll get on to the NBA slate. It's full as well. So like I said, this is a big basketball day. We're going to start off with an afternoon game in the NBA as well. Rockets, Mavs. So it looks like we're going to get to see the first version of AD with the Mavericks. Mavs are at home, 3.5-point favorite, 226 total is currently where it sits. It's already came down 0.5 point. The Mavs are going to be kind of a little bit different, I think, once they get rocking and rolling here. They're really going to be a defensive-centric team. The Rockets already do play great defense. I expect this game to be under that 226.5. So we're going to play Rockets-Mavs under 56.5 first quarter, 113.5 first half, 226.5 for the game. AD under 24.5 points, AD 11 plus rebounds. Dylan Brooks, who's been shooting out of his mind. I think the Mavs will play a little bit better defense on Dylan Brooks, so under 2.5 threes. Kyrie, 2 plus turnovers. AD, 2 plus blocks in that one. Next game up, Pacers-Lakers. Supposed to be no LeBron as he's doubtful for tonight. That's why the Pacers are favored by 4:10 Eastern time out in LA. 231.5 total in that one is probably not going to be a ton of defense in this game, although Mark Williams is expected to suit up for the Lakers, so they do have a little bit of an interior presence here. But no LeBron, where are they going to get their scoring? Well, obviously they think it's coming from Austin Reeves, whose point total is normally around 20, and all of a sudden he's up to 28 today. We're staying away from side and total on this one. Just a couple of player props. Mark Williams, 11 plus rebounds. Should have tons of opportunity. The Pacers still can't rebound 3 years later. And then Mathurin for the Pacers, 14 plus points. TJ McConnell, 9 plus points in that one. Next game up, Spurs and the Magic, 7:10 Eastern time. Spurs last night choked one off to Charlotte on a back-to-back, headed to Orlando. De'Aaron Fox has played okay. He's had, 22 points, 2 consecutive nights in a row. The Magic do play a little bit better defense. They've been discombobulated like mad crazy, though. So with this one here on the Spurs game, we are going to play the over here. I think the Spurs will allow the Magic, to kind of get their shooting rhythm. And the Spurs always tend to put up points. 218.5 total. It is starting to creep up, though, at some books. So Spurs Magic over 53.5 first quarter, 107 first half, 218.5 for the game. De'Aaron Fox, 20 plus points. Only had to go to 20, didn't have to go to 22. De'Aaron Fox, 2 plus threes. And De'Aaron Fox, 3 plus threes in that one. Next game up, 7:10 Eastern time as well. Hawks-Wizards. Hawks favored by 5 on the road. Wizards get beat up last night. They kept the game close against Cleveland for the most part. Jordan Poole went off. It seems like he finally broke that cold streak he's been on for almost a month. And we've been cashing in on a bunch of unders with Mr. Poole. They got the Hawks tonight, and the Hawks don't put up much defense. So we think back-to-back nights for Poole is kind of the way to go. Poole, 22 plus points, 4 plus threes, 5 plus threes. Remember, he did score 45 last night and hit a bunch of threes. And Ristashur, 14 plus points, the number 1 pick for the Hawks. He shouldn't see a ton of defense in his way in order to get his point total. Next game up, Trailblazers Timberwolves in Minnesota, 8:10 Eastern time. T-Wolves 6-point favorite, 216 total in this one. Just a couple player props. Jeremiah Grant under 14.5 points, under 1.5 threes, and they'll go Bear 12 plus rebounds in that one. 8:10 Eastern time. Thunder and the Grizzlies. All right, Chet Holmgren finally gets back and basically disappeared for most of the game yesterday. The Thunder were dominant early, and for some reason late in that game, gave up 20-plus point lead, which would have covered because they were a 19-point favorite. All of a sudden down to 12, so they lose the game, but they cover first quarter, first half for us. They're on the road, back-to-back game here against the Grizzlies. They're favored by 2. We like the Thunder in this spot again, except we're going to play in money line, a little bit more conservative. Thunder money line first quarter, first half, and game. SGA, 30-plus points, only 25 last night. It's been pretty rare so far when he hasn't bounced back from an under 30 game with one right behind it. And then SGA, 2 plus threes in that one. Next game up, Warriors-Bulls, 8:10 Eastern time. This is a complete stay-away game from us until we get more data or info on what Jimmy Butler or what that rotation is going to look like. And to be really honest with the Bulls, we tend to stay away from those nightmare games anyway. So no play for us in that Warriors-Bulls game. 8:40 Eastern time. Celtics go to the Knicks. Knicks at home getting 3. It's been 2.5, 3, back and forth a little bit. 232 total in this one. I'll be really honest with you. The Celtics compared to last year, where they were blowing people out of the water, have been a little bit of a disappointment, especially on the cover side. Not necessarily wins and losses, but covering games. They're a 3-point favorite here. Just player props for us in this one. Porzingis, 19 plus points. He is 20 at some spots, so make sure you do shop that around. Porzingis, 3 plus threes. Porzingis, 2 plus blocks. And Porzingis, 29 plus par. That's points, assists, rebounds combined. Next game up, Nuggets, Suns. 9:10 Eastern time. Nuggets on the road, 4-point favorites. Suns playing on a back-to-back. Devin Booker went nuts last night. They had to go to overtime to beat the Jazz. That was a nice call we had there, taking the Jazz plus the points as they covered first quarter, first half, and game. Now the Suns are the dog here. The Nuggets haven't been fabulous, bro. They've been really confusing, right? They're a good team. You can tell they're a good team, but sometimes it's like, oh my God, can you guys stop somebody? Or can you put the ball in the basket? They haven't been great at covering first quarter, first half, and game, but with the Suns coming back-to-back, don't know if Kevin Durant or Bradley Beal are going to play, as they both missed again last night's game. It seems like Durant, I don't know if he's a little bit upset still about the fact that he was in trade rumors or what, but we like the Nuggets in this spot. Nuggets -1 first quarter, 2 first half, 4 for the game. Jokic 30-plus points, as he normally dominates the Suns with his points. Jokic 54-plus par, that's points, assists, rebounds combined. Jokic 2+ threes. Nick Richards, who was hot when he first came over on the trade, hasn't been as of lately, so under 8.5 points for us on that one there. Next game up, Pelicans and the Kings. So Zach LaVine clipped us a couple times last night or the night before. It does happen. He hooked us on the point total as we had the under, and, we got one more three than we needed. There's 7-point favorite with Malik Monk at the point guard position. It's a little different with them. 7 point, and then the Pelicans obviously traded away Brandon Ingram, so they're down to Zion and CJ McCollum as their two main pieces. Trey Murphy getting a lot more playing time. Just player props for us in this one as well. Zion 3+ turnovers. Sabonis 15+ rebounds as the Pelicans struggle to rebound, and then Sabonis 21+ assists plus rebounds combined. And we get to the last game on the board, 10:40 Eastern time. Jazz coming off a loss against Phoenix, but they did cover. They're getting 15.5 here against the Clippers. The Clippers, as of late, since Kawhi came back, have had a trouble, it seems like, covering the number. 224.5 total in this one. And we're going to take the Jazz 2 nights in a row. Not going to see that very often on our sheet, but when we're getting these big of point totals, it's hard for these teams to cover, especially if they have a bad quarter. So Jazz plus 4.5 first quarter, plus 8.5 first half, plus 15.5 for the game. Lauri Markkanen for the Jazz. Even in a game last night that went to overtime, he still only put up 20 points. That was a little disappointing. It did cash for us, but thought he'd get closer to 30, but it's 19+ points for him today. Powell, 24+ points, and Powell, 3+ threes. And then James Harden, who hasn't been shooting the ball a bunch since Kawhi's been back either, under 22.5 points. All right, we just went through a ton of bets. How do we get a chance to take a look at all those bets? No problem at all. We've got them posted in multiple spots online, TikTok and YouTube channel pages as well at the end of every episode on YouTube. It's a link to our Google Sheets, docs.google.com/spreadsheet. Click on that link, go to the Basketball 2024-2025 tab. You'll be able to see all the bets we made, what juice we got those at, how many units we wagered, and what book we placed them at as well. So feel free to check that out when you get some time. Well worth the investment of time by checking that out. Do you like the content that you're seeing here and want to see some more? We'd love to have you along for the ride. All you need to do is hit follow or subscribe, depending on the social media platform you're watching us on. Once you hit follow or subscribe, we'll show up in your feed, depending on the social media platform you're watching us on. Or make life simple for yourself and turn on those notifications for that social media platform. You'll get a notification sent to your phone or device to let you know we've dropped a new episode of Bets as well. We do appreciate everybody's support, as always, and we look forward to seeing you on the next episode.